Your first real paycheck feels like a trophy. You can almost hear freedom singing. But here's the catch. Most people treat it like bonus money instead of the start of a plan. Meet Sarah, who spent her first $200 on a new phone and fast food for a month. She regretted it when rent hit. In a moment, you'll see why that impulse is so common and how one tiny habit could change everything. So stay for the last tip that flips this pattern. Living paycheck to paycheck is not just a budget problem. It's a mindset. Imagine getting paid $500, and still scrambling 5 days before the next deposit. Why does that happen? Overspending on small comforts, coffees, food delivery, adds up faster than a single vacation splurge, and your bank balance hides the pattern until it's too late. In a moment, I'll show a simple 30-day experiment that exposes this leak, and you'll see how shifting one habit turns that emergency scramble into steady breathing room. Splurging feels earned. It looks like treating yourself. But here's the catch. A $300 impulse purchase can steal months of savings growth. Think of Jake, who prioritized designer sneakers over starting an emergency fund. A broken laptop weeks later forced him to use credit. Quick question. Is that one-night joy worth months of interest payments? Stay tuned. I'll show a comparison that makes the math painfully clear and a practical trick to keep treats from becoming traps. You see, net pay and celebrate. Few remember what Uncle Sam already took or what could be owed. But taxes are more than a line item. They're a recurring shock if ignored. For instance, freelancing Emma got a $3,400 payout and didn't set aside 25% for taxes. She paid a big bill in April. In a moment, you'll see 3 fast checks to avoid that surprise bill, and one simple habit to keep your tax money untouchable. Debt can feel like an investment. New laptop for work, credit for a course. But bad debt hides in promises of quick returns. Example. Marco took a 0% promo card for furniture, then missed payments and lost the interest-free deal, turning $800 into $150. Pattern interrupt. Does that sound like investing? No. In a moment, you'll learn a rule to test any debt opportunity. If it fails the test, walk away. And how to spot the difference immediately. Emergency funds feel boring. But emergencies are not. When Leah's bike broke, she used her credit card and paid interest for 6 months. Interest that wiped out a small vacation. Contrast that with Tom, who had $1,000 saved and paid cash, avoiding fees. Here's the curiosity gap. A small 3-step plan builds a true buffer faster than you think, and in a moment I'll explain an automatic trick that makes saving painless and nearly invisible. Fancy spreadsheets and 50-category budgets look responsible. They fail fast. Why? Complexity breeds avoidance. One friend tracked spending obsessively for a week and quit because it took an hour each night. The result? No budget at all. Simple beats perfect. Stay for the last one, where I reveal a 2-line budgeting method that sticks, plus an example showing how it survives a party weekend without breaking. Free trials are modern bait. One tap and free becomes $12.99 monthly. Consider Anna, who signed up for 5 trials and missed cancellation notices. $60 vanished monthly. Pattern interrupt. How many trials are you still paying for? In a moment, you'll learn a 1-minute cleanup routine that typically finds $120 to $600 a year in forgotten subscriptions. And I'll share a micro-story of a clean sweep that paid for a weekend getaway. A raise often triggers an upgrade cascade. Nicer coffee, new phone, more dinners out. Each upgrade alone is small. Together they become a new baseline. Compare $50 extra spent monthly to investing that $50. 10 years later, the difference becomes a 5-figure gap. Curious? In a moment, I'll show a side-by-side chart you can visualize in your head, and a challenge that keeps lifestyle inflation in check without feeling deprived. Retirement feels distant when you're 23. That's the trap. Time is your most powerful ally. If you put $50 a month into a retirement account at 22 versus starting at 32, the earlier saver often ends up with far more, thanks to compounding. Quick question. Would you rather have more spendable income now or a multiplied nest egg later? Stay until the end. I'll show a starter strategy that costs less than your streaming bill and preserves future freedom. Asking friends for money feels harmless. It complicates relationships. Borrowing from family to pay rent creates awkward dynamics and often unpaid favors. Credit cards bring interest and stress. Microstory. Sam borrowed $500 from a cousin and wound up paying back with strained dinners and unfinished conversations. But what's the alternative? In a moment, I'll outline 3 low-stress borrowing options and 1 rule to protect relationships if you must borrow. Credit scores are invisible rules with visible costs. Low score? Higher loan interest. High score? Better opportunities. Consider this. A 30-point difference can cost hundreds more annually in a car loan. Pattern interrupt. Do you actually know your score? In a moment, you'll see the 3 simple actions that move a score up reliably, and a quick story about someone who saved $2,000 by fixing 2 errors. 1 shout-out advice fits 1 person. It rarely fits everyone. Blindly copying a friend's strategy can backfire. Example. Olivia maxed a high-fee investment because her cousin praised it. She lost returns to fees. Curiosity gap. What simple question would have revealed the mismatch? Stay for that question and an actionable checklist to vet any financial tip before you copy it. Employer benefits are sneaky free money. Missed match? Wallet penalty. If your company matches 3% and you don't contribute, you effectively leave 3% of your salary on the table. Mini story. Raj thought benefits were for seniors. He later learned a match would have been an immediate 100% return on his contribution. In a moment, I'll show how to enroll in under 5 minutes, and 1 red flag that means a benefits review is overdue. Choosing short-term wins over long-term stability is human. A paid concert now might mean overdraft fees later. Microstory. Kayla paid for a weekend trip with her emergency credit line. Great memories, but a year of extra payments. Quick question. Which future are you buying with today's choices? In a moment, I'll give a decision filter to test any impulse purchase, and a rule that preserves both enjoyment and financial momentum. Wealth isn't a magic leap. It's small habits stacking. Saving $5 a day seems tiny, but over time, it's powerful, like planting seeds that become trees. Here's the catch. Consistency beats intensity. 1 longer habit, like automatic transfers, will outperform sporadic budget heroics. And later, you'll see a real-life example where $2 a day funded a reunion trip 5 years later. Stay tuned for the exact setup that takes minutes to start and runs without thinking. Social pressure and FOMO are invisible budget saboteurs. When friends upgrade, pressure nudges you toward matching their lifestyle. A microstory. Nina felt compelled to upgrade her laptop because her teammates did. It cost her 6 months of savings. Pattern interrupt. Is your spending driven by others or by your goals? In a moment, you'll learn a 3-question test to defuse FOMO instantly, and a phrase to use when offers feel overwhelming. Complexity scares. Rules simplify. Here are 5 straightforward rules. Pay yourself first, save for taxes, avoid bad debt, track subscriptions, and use employer matches. Each rule is brief, but together they form a safety net far stronger than random frugality. Curious which rule most new earners break? In a moment, you'll hear that common failure and a 1-sentence fix that takes under a minute to implement, plus a tiny daily ritual that keeps all 5 rules active. Quick recap. Living paycheck to paycheck, splurging, ignoring taxes, bad debt, no emergency fund, lifestyle inflation, and skipping retirement. Which one surprised you most? Here's the key takeaway. Small choices compound faster than you expect. A single $50 monthly habit makes or breaks years of progress. Forward reference. Revisit the splurge example if you want the math that hurts the most. Now picture applying one of the 5 simple rules for a month, and watch your balance behave differently. Seriously, try it. Ready for action? Start with 3 steps today. Automate a small transfer to an emergency fund, check your subscription list, and enroll in any employer match. Short sentence. Then set a 30-day challenge to track just 1 habit and revisit results. In a moment, you'll feel calmer. Forward reference. If you commit, come back and tell me which mistake you avoided. I'll share a mini plan based on your pick. Hit 1 small action now.